What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different from what we're used to. Don't worry, the sanctuary isn't abandoned. Not yet, anyway. I have one more episode planned for that. But anyway, we're going to be doing a top 10 favorite dinosaurs in this game. Now, I've done this once before. I think it was on September 29th, 2023 on the main channel. If you guys remember that, I'll probably post a link in the description down below. Well, this is the updated version of that because a lot more creatures have been added to the game since then. And in today's video, we're going to be doing my new top 10. So in this hatchery, we've got numbers 10 through 6. Here we've got numbers 5 through 1. And here we've got honorable mentions. Last time I only had 3 honorable mentions, this time I've got 5. Yeah, so some creatures that were in the last one will probably be removed or moved to another space because, you know, things have changed. But yeah, if you find yourself enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. And I know I didn't do this last time, but I mean it this time when I say I will make a whole video dedicated to the aquatics and a whole video dedicated to the pterosaurs. So keep your eyes peeled for those 2 videos in the near future. But with that, let's begin the top 10. Alright, taking the number 10 spot comes from the Secret Species pack, the Ankyloticus. Now, if you guys remember what it looked like in the first game, it kind of looked very ugly. But here, it's a massive improvement. It just looks like it's really cool. They've really stepped up their game when it comes to these creatures. Like, look at this. Just a really cool creature. And they've got some really cool skins. I love how they added the Lux variants with some of these creatures. Like, I think this one has the Lux variant. But yeah. The reason it's this low in the top 10, it's only number 10, is the fact that it can't fight back, like most other sauropods. And by most, I mean every single one of them. Now, if this guy could fight back, because you'd think with the club tail and the armor it would be able to, then this guy would definitely be higher up. But overall, he's just a really cool specimen overall. And I really love the Ankyloticus. If this was the Ankyloticus from the first game, it would be nowhere near this list. But yeah, just saying. So yeah, Ankyloticus, number 10. Taking the number 9 spot is the first dinosaur from my last top 10. It's the Megalosaurus. Yes, it's remained the same. This is one of the cooler looking theropods in the game. And it's got some really cool skins. I really love the design of this guy. It's very underappreciated, I feel. I feel like this is one of the more overlooked creatures, and it's just a really cool specimen either way. Like, I love how, I don't want to say too accurate, it kind of looks like a shortened version of the Changosaurus, but, you know, I can tell it's kind of the Changosaurus remodeled, but it looks really cool. I really love the Megalosaurus. And it's just, yeah, really cool. Taking the number 8 spot, we have the Dinokyus, another one from the last list that got a downgrade. I think it was number 4 before, I'm not sure, but I still love this creature. It's still good enough to be in the top 10. But it's just, we have lots of cooler dinosaurs now that we've updated and whatever. So, yeah, I like the Dinokyus just for how bizarre it looks. It looks like a giant duck, pretty much. I'm surprised this thing never made it into the spin wheel sanctuaries yet. It has yet to make it. But yeah, I just think this guy looks really cool, and yeah, the Dinokyus is just an overall really cool dinosaur. I'm sorry that it's much lower on the list than it was before, because before it was pretty high on the list, but yeah. You'll see why in a minute. Taking the number 7 spot, we have the Homalocephalae. Now, this used to take the number 6 spot, but I decided to remove Lystrosaurus from the list. It used to be number 7. They're still adorable as hell. Nothing can top these guys when it comes to adorableness. Like, the Microceratus, the Lystrosaurus, and even the Compies and Moros Intrepidus, they can try. And so can the Spinosaurus, but nothing will top Homalocephale when it comes to cuteness. That's literally all I have to say about Homalocephale. Taking the number 6 spot, we have Concavenator. Now this guy entered the prehistoric or the Cretaceous Predator pack, and honestly I like this. I like how instead of going for the diorama from Fallen Kingdom, they gave the Concavenator its own design. I honestly love it. It looks really cool. You know, I love how it's got quills on its head and arms and whatever. It just looks really cool. And we're catching the social and biting the hump. Okay, that's kind of cool actually. But yeah, this guy is really cool. It's a shame that they're one of the weaker dinosaurs. Even though these guys are classed as medium-sized carnivores, they act like small carnivores. They've got all the animations that a small carnivore would have. And yeah, I mean, they'd be much higher on the list if, you know, they were treated a little better when it comes to combat. Alright, so that's 10 through 6 done. Let's move on to 5 through 1. Taking the number 5 spot, we've got the Spinoraptor. Now, this guy was my favorite hybrid in the first game, and it's still my favorite hybrid in this one. So yeah, the Spinoraptor is just a really cool design. I really love it. It looks like something that could have existed in real life, honestly. It looks really cool. I just love the concept of a giant raptor. You know how raptors are always small? I always love the concept of a giant raptor. It just looks really cool. The Spinoraptor is just, you know, while a lot of the hybrids you can kind of see the outlandishness of them, like the Ankyloticus, Stegoceratops, and even the Spinoceratops. But this guy, like I said, looks like something that could have existed in real life. It just looks really cool. I mean, you could see it's a mixture of a Spinosaurus and a Velociraptor, but other than that, really cool. Taking the number 4 spot, we have another dinosaur that was in the last tier, the Spinosaurus. Now, it's been downgraded from the number 2 spot, simply because there are lots of dinosaurs better looking than it. Now, I still love the Spinosaurus. I don't really love the color that I chose for this, but it's a really cool one. Ever since that TLC they gave the Spinosaurus during the Marine Species pack, it looks really cool. And honestly, one of my favorite giant theropods in the game. It's just so cool looking. I love its design. I love its moves. And it's just, you know, kind of chef's kiss. Really cool, you know? Taking the number 3 spot is still the Utyus. Now, this guy was in the number 3 spot last time, and it still earns the number 3 spot here. One of the best looking dinosaurs in the entire game. It's so accurate when it comes to appearance. Maybe not 100% accurate, but it's still accurate enough where people can appreciate it. Ever since they added feathered dinosaurs into the game, it just looks really cool in my opinion. The Utyus is just an overall cool dinosaur. Another dinosaur I've been wanting in the game for a very long time, and it finally made it into the game. Overall, it just looks really cool, and now he's panicking for some reason. And the Utyus doesn't look too much larger than the Spinoraptor, in my opinion. Taking the number 2 spot is another carnivore that was number 1 to begin with, but I downgraded it to number 2. I know, the Giganotosaurus, not number 1? What could possibly be number 1? Well, we'll have to find out sooner or later. So yeah, the Giganotosaurus is still a really cool dinosaur. It's still my favorite dinosaur to date. And it's still up there when it comes to designs in this game. I like the evolution one. You know what? I'm kind of growing with the evolution Giganotosaurus. Sometimes I would hatch this one and dub it Mapusaurus. You know, because Mapusaurus isn't in the game. And then just have the Dominion one be Giganotosaurus. Yeah. Overall, a really cool specimen. Whenever I have Giganotosaurus in parks, they look really cool. If I were to ever make a Jurassic Park or whatever, Giganotosaurus would be in it for sure. Just saying. The Spinosaurus is probably number 2 when it comes to large carnivores. Giganotosaurus is definitely number 1 in my opinion. Let's see the interaction between the two. That's kind of cool. I like how they do that. Now, before we get to number 1, let's talk about the honorable mentions. Now, we've got 5 of them. First up in honorable mentions, we have Ostr Linator. Yes, I still love this creature's design. It used to be in the top 10. I think it was number 5, but it didn't make it here because a lot of creatures ended up winning me over more than this guy. But saying that, the Ostr Linator is still a really cool specimen. And I'm very sad that it didn't make the top 10 this time around. But at least it made honorable mention, so it can brag about that. Up next, we have a returning specimen from the honorable mentions, Cryolophosaurus. I like the Cryolophosaurus. It's got a really cool design. A little too bulky for my liking, and that's probably why it didn't quite make the top 10. But Cryolophosaurus is just a really cool specimen regardless. I'm glad they added it into the game because it's just, yeah, look at it. It's a really cool specimen. I really love it, and it's just, yeah. And they've got cool colors too. I honestly like the all-white ones better because they're like polar Cryolophosaurs, and it like fits the vibe of them the most. Moving on to the third honorable mention, and something I decided to give a little more love to, the Diplodocus. Now, it wasn't in either list before, but it was just, you know, I've grown to love it. Out of the sauropods, Diplodocus is without a doubt my favorite. It looks way better than, say, the Apatosaurus and Brachiosaurus. Now, the Brachiosaurus, I need to give respect for because it's been in the franchise since the first movie, and I loved it in Jurassic Park. Don't get me wrong. But I'm sorry, Diplodocus is kind of a really cool creature. And I heard that Amargasaurus is actually going to make it into the new Jurassic film, as well as a paleo-accurate Spinosaurus, a somewhat paleo-accurate Spinosaurus, along with 2 sibling T-Rexes, but that's not about that. This is about the Diplodocus. I really hope this guy ends up making it into the movies at some point. It's just a really cool specimen, and I'm glad Mattel is making a figure of this. I will definitely collect it and do an unboxing video on the main channel for sure when it comes out. And it comes out September 29th, which is literally 1 year after my first top 10 arrived. So yeah, Diplodocus has made it not into the top 10, but is an honorable mention. Our next honorable mention is the Giganotosaurus. Now, I put this guy in here because of how odd it looks. You know, it's just a giant oviraptor. Looks really cool in my opinion. The Giganotosaurus is just, it was kind of an oddball when it came out in its DLC, the one with the Cretaceous Predator pack. Kind of an oddball, but you know what? I'm glad it's in the game. And they've got some cool interactions. Like, look at this one. That's really cool. I love that. They're kind of coronating with each other. I forget the term for it. I think it's coronating. And our fifth and final honorable mention is the Spinoceratops. Now, I like this design. Even though it's very outlandish like the others, it looks really cool. Kind of looks cute, you know, with the face and whatever. But yeah, I like the Spinoceratops. It looks really cool. It looks way more outlandish than the Spinoraptor, but it's definitely a really cool specimen. They're definitely a lot larger than the Sinoceratops. Now, I'm not too much of a fan of the Sinoceratops, but I really like the Spinoceratops. It looks really cool, and it's just an overall really cool herbivore. So yeah, Spinoceratops didn't quite make the top 10 because of kind of whatever. But yeah, really cool looking in my opinion. Alright, now we're moving on to number 1, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, Jason, I thought Giganotosaurus was your favorite dinosaur. It used to be number 1, now it's number 2. What could possibly top it? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. And taking the number 1 spot is without a doubt the Utyus Raptor. This guy won me over because it's just my favorite design in the entire game. For one, out of all the dromaeosaurs in the game, it's definitely one of the most accurate looking ones with the feathers and whatever. But 2, it's just one of the coolest designs in the entire game. I really like the Utyus Raptor. It's something that I've been wanting since the first game. And I can't believe it took us until late 2023, so basically 5 years, to get this guy into the evolution games. But yeah, a really cool specimen in my opinion. And I love how it towers over most of the other dromaeosaurs. And you'd think this guy would be able to stand up to the Indoraptor. I might do like an updated video of the Utahraptor trying to fight some of the medium-sized carnivores, because I found out through the sanctuary that it can stand up to some of the medium-sized carnivores. So I'm going to see which ones it can stand up with and which ones it'll get one-shotted by. But yeah, Utahraptor's just really cool. Like, look at this. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love how this guy just falls over. That's really cool. Alright, and that's my top 10 favorite dinosaurs in Jurassic World Evolution 2, along with 5 honorable mentions. So yeah, that's going to have to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. But until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.